Odyssey. That is the only movie that is worse. Look, guys, this is Nolan's worst movie. This is Nolan's worst movie. And I don't come at this emotionally. I'm a screenwriter, right? I mean, I come at this from a very sophisticated point of view. Very sophisticated. I was absolutely shocked from the first scene. There's going to be a few spoilers going on through this. I wasn't going to do a live tonight. I wasn't going to do a live. I came back after this movie. And like I said, and there's a lot of screenwriters in Los Angeles. Can I get back in there? There's a lot of screenwriters in Los Angeles, such as myself, who make jokes about Christopher Nolan's screenwriting. It is some of the worst screenwriting. This is a $500 million boondoggle. It's a freaking boondoggle. And let me say, this movie needs some Razzie Awards. This is how adamant I am. I laughed at the end. Guys, I laughed at the end. It is so stupid. I freaking laughed at the end of this movie. Now, one thing I want to say, because Alan Ng from Film Threat. When I saw his out of the theater review, and he gave it a 4 out of 10. Do you guys know Alan Ng and what's the other gentleman's name? Chris Gore? I watch their show sometimes. I like it. He gave a 4 out of 10. And my thought was, is he trying to be a little bit reactionary? Is he trying to get reaction? Is he trying to get something in my mouth? Is he trying to get a little bit of reaction out of people to try and give it a low score? And, because I thought he was going way too low. My worst expectations for Christopher Nolan, was not a 4 out of 10 like Alan Ng gave. I thought, okay, you know what? He's using hyperbole. There's no way the Odyssey can be that bad. Ladies and gentlemen, Alan Ng of Film Threat freaking nailed it. It is a 4 out of 10. Can I get some applause? It is a 4 out of 10, The Odyssey. This is now. You're not gonna. A lot of you are not gonna believe me. You're not gonna believe me. I'm not a Nolan hater. I will like any movie for its merits. Period. Carte blanche. That's it. If I like a movie, I like a movie. This movie is, like I say, Alan Ng of Film Threat nailed it. This is a 4 out of 10. This movie, I laughed at the end. You have got dialogue. Now, if you want to go see it and you want to waste your money, go see it. Go see it. You will say at the end of it, geez, that Danny Alex guy in POPRAGEOUS, he told us, this is let me tell you what kind of movie this is. This is the kind of movie that you're streaming on Netflix late at night. You're streaming with your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your husband, whatever it is. And you're an hour and a half into it and you turn it off because you're tired and said, I'll finish it tomorrow. You really don't give a damn about this movie. The dialogue is abhorrent. Now, as a screenwriter, I spend so much time on my dialogue. I do. Dialogue is this is some of the worst dialogue. It goes on and on and on and on, and it says nothing. This is dialogue this is a movie that is so pretentious that it's hard to describe. It's basically a whole bunch of simple sentences, predictable lines. Now, the ending, based on the beginning and the whole bow thing, it's as predictable as the morning sunrise. That's how predictable it is. The opening to the Odyssey, there's no payoff that you go, oh God, that felt so good. Nothing. When Odysseus gets back to Greece, to Ithaca, the way Christopher Nolan introduces it, this is a B movie from start to finish. It's a B movie from start to finish. One thing that Alan Ing said, and it's so true. If you watch this movie, you'll know exactly where it is. Do you guys like Monty Python? Who doesn't like Monty Python, right? Alan Ing, in the review that I watched of his, he says, there's a couple of parts in there. You know what, Monty Python, the Holy Grail, he goes, run away. Literally, I thought, there's no way it could. There's a part in the Odyssey. If you have watched the Holy Grail, you know exactly what it happens. The eyes open up of all the Greeks, of Odysseus and everybody. And it's like, run away. It is terrible, my friends. The acting is terrible. I don't know why Zendaya's even in it. It's like it's a favor to Tom Holland. Hey, Christopher, would you mind putting in? Would you put my wife in? Sure, I'll find something. There's no reason for Zendaya to be in it. John Leguizamo is absolutely terrible. None of the acting, as a matter of fact, if anything, the acting in this movie is going to deserve a Razzie Award. You take Christopher Nolan's name out of this movie, and you've got a $500 million B movie. That's what you got. Take Christopher Nolan. When you're watching, if you do watch this, I'm telling you, do not waste your money. Do not waste your money and see this in theaters. You will thank me. This movie is so bad. It makes Christopher Nolan look like the terrible screenwriter that he is. And being a screenwriter, I have always maintained he writes terrible screenplays. The Dark Knight is a terrible screenplay. The Dark Knight Rises is a terrible screenplay. He gets away with some spectacle. In this movie, The Odyssey, it's not that the lighting is off. The camera angles are off. It looks B from the dialogue from start to finish. It looks absolutely B. It's one of those buddy movies. You got to go see this movie with a buddy, because you really got to rely on your buddy to nudge you. When you start falling asleep, hey, wake up. I didn't have a buddy in this movie. I fought to stay awake. This movie had no reason to be almost 3 hours long. It didn't. It was absolutely. The dialogue stretched on endlessly. And you're wondering, what are they talking about? And it's all simple sentences. As a screenwriter, when you write dialogue, and dialogue is the hardest thing to do when you're writing a screenplay, it really is. You really want to make sure that you are every single word in dialogue is critical. And so when I write a screenplay, I got like 2 people that I send it to, and they will tear it apart. You need fresh eyes on every screenplay. If I read this screenplay from Christopher Nolan, if I read The Dark Knight, I would have said, look, this screenplay is shite. The Odyssey is Christopher Nolan's worst movie. Guys, if you don't believe me, go watch it and waste your money. Go ahead, do it. Alan Ing, if you've seen Alan... Yeah, this is the end. This is the end of Christopher Nolan as we know it. This movie is a Razzie Award through and through. None of the actors fit the roles. It is Lego blocks. It is paint by numbers. It is Elliot Page. Elliot Page sounds like a female transitioning, because he or she is a female transitioning. You're not you're like, why? I mean, you could have so Elliot Page playing Sinon. If you would have had some tough. You would have had some tough fighter, warrior kind of person in that role. The role of Sinon, played by Elliot Page, is a plant. Why was Travis Scott in this movie? There is no reason for him to be in this movie. One of the things in screenplays, guys, one of the things when you go through a screenplay and some of your, I like I said, I got two guys that always read my screenplays. They'll ask when a scene doesn't have to be there. They'll say, "Hey, Danny, what's this scene here for? It doesn't seem to serve a role." The 2 or 3 things with Travis Scott, you're like, "Okay, excuse me." I mean, he's a terrible actor. He's a terrible actor. Terrible, terrible. John Leguizamo is absolutely horrible in this movie. John Leguizamo deserves a Razzie Award. Can I nominate? Ladies and gentlemen, can I nominate John Leguizamo for a Razzie Award for the Odyssey? John Leguizamo. Give him a Razzie, baby. And look, maybe Anne Hathaway was the best. Robert Pattinson was terrible. Oh my. If you felt any threat from Robert Pattinson as the antagonist, your name is Elliot Page. Like, you would have to feel the ending, guys. The ending scene is so. I was laughing. I'll be honest. I was laughing. I was laughing in the theater. The guy beside me, he was like, I probably should be laughing too. I couldn't stop laughing. Is this real? And then at the end, Anne Hathaway and Matt Damon have got these little simple one-liners that they end the movie with that you're supposed to feel epic about. You're going to be like, wow, this is... Guys, I'm telling you, you take Christopher Nolan's name out of this movie and you have a $500 million B movie. And when you watch it in the theater, if you go below $50, go ahead and do it if you want. Don't. You will thank me if you wait till streaming. This thing is going to crater. Week 2, this thing will crater. It should crater. Like I said, Alan Ng on the 4 out of 10. This is a 4 out of 10. This is a 4 out of 10. The only reason it's not a 3 out of 10 is Christopher Nolan's name is attached to it. It's the only reason. It's the only reason. There is a dead dog. Odysseus's dead dog sat on this garbage for which must have been weeks or years. I don't know how long the dog was near death. It goes like Robert Pattinson. Oh, he's such a baddie. Oh, fuck. Jeez. Guys, the casting in this movie was terrible. It was terrible. Robert Pattinson, so they take the dead dog out and they put it in the garbage. At the very end, Odysseus comes back and the dog is still alive on the garbage. Like, the thing is live. You're like, wait a second. Haven't we just gone through like years of this movie? What's with this dead dog is still freaking alive? What the? And I'm telling you guys, when Alan Ng, when it's like, run away, you will know exactly. If you're a Monty Python fan, you will know exactly what happens in the movie. It's what's with the plate armored giants, right? Jesus Christ almighty. Unbelievable. You can see it in Matt Damon's eyes, right? When the giants sort of walk over, you can see Matt Damon's eyes. It's like he's about to say it. Like, where's the guy with the coconuts? That's all. I'm looking for the guy with the coconuts. Run away, you French pig dogs. If they knew, now, if Matt Damon knew the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow, he would probably have gotten away okay. But this is Alan Ng. I gotta tell you, Alan Ng has never nailed a movie better than he's nailed this one. Holy shit. Forced casting. Can I say, I'm going to use the word. Guys, after 20 years of being in Los Angeles, being a screenwriter, you can't get any more forced casting than this. This is just casting. You know what? Well, I worked with this person before, so I might as well cast them again. Look, Tom Holland was terrible. Tom Holland was terrible. This was like a whole bunch of actors. You know, they get together at someone's house on a Sunday night. They get drunk, and it's like, hey guys, let's act something out and play. You know, let's play actors on a Sunday. Maybe Christopher Nolan will like record it. I'm telling you, if you think I'm using hyperbole to describe this movie, you are wrong. Go and watch this movie. This movie is a sheer, utter cinematic disaster. This is Christopher Nolan's, and he's got some bad screenplays. He is not a good screenwriter. He's never even been nominated for Best Screenplay. This is one of the worst screenplays of his life. This is terrible. This is terrible. This is utterly terrible. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that you could get into. It's got the most predictable ending. If you're watching this movie and you don't predict the ending, or the second the ending actually happens, you're like, okay, right, okay, I got it. I know what's gonna happen here. And you got these Travis Scott scenes, and you're like, why are these Travis Scott scenes even in here? Why do they? Travis Scott and Zendaya, they don't even have to be there. There's no reason. There's no reason. I already talked about John Leguizamo, which he was terrible. John Leguizamo is a Razzie Award waiting in the wings, my friend. Matt Damon, look, Matt Damon was in amazing shape. Did he play a good? No, I mean, look, maybe Matt Damon did as well as he could with the garbage lines, the dialogue, guys. When you watch this movie, the dialogue is some of the worst dialogue. This is a $500 million production, right? $300 million. This movie screams, can you please give me some CGI, okay? Please, Christopher Nolan, stop with the practical effects. Give me some freaking CGI, because it was so freaking bad. Guys, when they attacked Troy, it literally... When they attacked Troy, it looked like Troy was like a town of 500 people. Why are you attacking Troy? It's like, what? Like, they run into a whole patch of trees. And I don't understand. So the whole thing is, right, they gave the horse as a present at the gates of Troy. But this wasn't at the gates of Troy. This was on the beach, and they had to dig this freaking horse out. So they had to open the gates, and they had to pull this horse in. So my thought was, well, why wouldn't the Greeks just attack when they're pulling this horse in for a whole afternoon? The whole afternoon these gates are open. The whole afternoon. They're trying to pull this stupid horse in. I don't know how this horse didn't fall apart as they're trying to pull it in. Whatever. This was Nolan's stupidity at its finest. They're trying to pull this horse in, which would have fallen apart. Yeah. But so you're trying to pull this horse in that's buried in the ocean. They got the gates open. Everyone's pulling. I'm thinking, okay, why don't the Greeks attack right now? What's stopping you from attacking right now? There's nothing. I didn't get it. Charlize Theron was probably okay in this movie, but she had a single face she had to do. Look concerned. Everyone lost weight. Everyone was on Cialis. Everyone was on. Everyone was on Cialis in this movie. Ozempic. It was an Ozempic movie. Charlize Theron lost a lot of weight. The ending, guys, I'm telling you, the ending will drive you absolutely crazy. What Christopher Nolan does, he does a drum beat. And it lasts for a half hour. The end, look, I've always said, right, from whether it's Batman, it doesn't matter what Christopher Nolan movie it is. He is crappy. He knows nothing about a fight scene. The ending of the Odyssey, if it doesn't convince you that he knows nothing about doing fight scenes, and I'll tell you, who knows how to do a fucking fight scene? Zack Snyder. Doesn't matter whether you're a Snyder bro or not. Zack Snyder knows how to do a frickin' fight scene. Ben Affleck, Batman v Superman, when he goes into the warehouse. That's a fight scene. Or The Watchmen, the movie The Watchmen, opening scene with the comedian. That's a good fight when the comedian dies, right? That's a good scene. Zack Snyder knows how to do. Christopher Nolan, oh, holy jeez. The ending, and so you get 30 minutes. You got 30 minutes of this drum beat. Boom, 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 boom. And it just keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going. And you're like, what, is something going to happen? Because you will listen through some of the worst dialogue that you have ever heard on the big screen. Understand, guys, understand. I have no idea how people are leaving this movie. Now, I spent 20 years in Los Angeles. I'm an award-winning screenwriter. I have no desire to be mean to anyone except for the validity of the work that they've done. This work from Christopher Nolan is the worst work that he has done. This is the worst Christopher Nolan movie. I'm telling you, watch it. Watch it. If you thought Alan Ng and his 4 out of 10 and he was trying to be dramatic with his 4 out of 10, no. Arguably, 4 out of 10 is being nice for this movie. You will be very unhappy when you go see this movie in theaters. You will be. And you will reflect back on all the BS reviews that you heard and think, how could anybody? This is a guy. If the only way that you can say that this is a great movie is you have to suffix it with B movie. This is a great B movie. This is Christopher Nolan showing his true stripes. Can he create some good movies? He's created a couple of very good ones. Very good ones. This is an utter disaster. Guys, I don't think this movie is going to break $500 million. 500 million, 550. I think second week this thing is going to crater. It's going to turtle. Have you ever seen it? You know when turtles turtle? That's what's going to happen with this thing. This thing will fall 85%. This is a cinematic disaster. Of epic proportions. This is, guys, and understand, this is Christopher Nolan, and I've spent 20 years in freaking Hollywood. I'll preface it just from the perspective that I've done shit in Hollywood, right? I've won almost every major film festival for best screenplay in the world. Been there, done that. Never sold a screenplay. I know screenwriting. Christopher Nolan is one of the worst big budget screenwriters out there, period. This movie proves it. This movie unequivocally proves it. Dialogue. The most clumsy scene transitions. Oh my God. The most clumsy scene transitions. This is literally, you've seen paint by numbers. I describe it as Lego blocks. Think of like clumsy little, blocky Lego blocks. Like you're literally watching a screenplay as a Lego movie. It is beyond comprehension that there are people out there, critics. I'm a movie guy. I've been in front of the camera, behind the camera. You can go to filmfreeway.com, Danny Alex, you can check out my name. You can see every award I won. There's hundreds of them. Largest film festivals in the world. So at least I got a little bit of cred, right? This isn't just an opinion. And I've maintained Christopher Nolan is one of the worst screenwriters in Hollywood. The Dark Knight is one of the worst screenplays ever written in Hollywood. Now The Dark Knight Rises is even worse than that. And the only one that will actually beat that movie is The Odyssey. The Odyssey this is Christopher Nolan's. This is the end of Christopher Nolan. He will not get another $250 million budget movie. He won't get it. He won't get it. After this movie, this will turn into a disaster. This is going to turn into a second week disaster, a third week disaster. I think the best example is the what's the one with the Green Witch? Forgot the. Remember, it came out and Thanksgiving, and it literally cratered. Right, the witch movie. You know what I'm talking about. This is Christopher Nolan's train wreck. This is Christopher Nolan's cinematic disaster. This is Christopher Nolan's. There's no way now. The desire to be in a Christopher Nolan movie for actors, it ends here. I'm telling you, it ends here. You don't believe me? Go watch the stupid thing. Go waste your money. And you'll see oh wow, Danny Alex was not using hyperbole. Alan Ing at Film Threat was not using hyperbole. This is some of the worst movie screenwriting. This is bad cinematography. It is terrible lighting. The lighting, it's not that it's dark. The camera angles are wrong. The scene transitions are wrong. The camera angles are like, it doesn't flow. It's clumsy. The scenes like trip over each other. You will watch this movie and you will say, I get it. I get it. You'll watch the part where the Monty Python scene, run away, run away. Oh my God, it's so freaking hilarious. It's so freaking funny. It is so freaking funny. Let me say something. I know I've been talking for a while. I think I've said a few things. I wasn't expecting a good movie. So you know how when you're not expecting a good movie, you kind of come out, wow, I'm kind of, that was better than I thought, right? You know what I mean? So I was not expecting a good movie. I've maintained the whole idea with The Dark Knight that he's that Nolan is a terrible screenwriter. And this movie is going to reflect it. I've been saying this going into it, but I thought, you know what? My expectations are so low with the Odyssey. As a screenwriter, my expectations are so low. I'll probably leave the theater going, wow, you know what? That wasn't bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought. It was worse than I thought. It was worse than any of my expectations. It's forgettable. You think back and you think, okay, what am I going to talk about? It's forgettable. Every scene is forgettable. I mean, it is. When movies are this bad, it's almost indescribable. It really is. So the casting. If we go with the cast, there is nobody in the cast, nobody that I could say was cast really well. But look, you cannot cast a movie, having worked on all sides of the camera, screenwriter, everything. You cannot cast a movie when a screenplay is this bad. You can't. This screenplay is about as bad as it gets. This is Supergirl level. This is literally to the level of Supergirl. It is so bad. The dialogue is cringe. The dialogue is written by someone who has no understanding, which is crazy because Oppenheimer was a dialogue movie. It doesn't make sense. This movie, if you're not laughing by the very end, which I was, because I was laughing at the very end. And I think most people will be laughing. I think this is Christopher Nolan's cinematic disaster. To me, it's a 4 out of 10. I think Alan Ing at Film Threat has got it nailed. 4 out of 10. You know what? It's Christopher Nolan. Give it a 5 out of 10. This is not a movie that you want to spend money on. I watched reviews from people who have seen this movie before I went to go see it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What the fuck were you watching? Like, seriously, whose ass are you kissing? I moved out of Los Angeles about a year ago. I write my own screenplays. I'm going to be producing my own screenplays. So like hell, I need Los Angeles. I'm not going to work with Christopher Nolan. So what do I care about having to be nice? I don't need to be nice to Christopher Nolan. I don't need to be mean to Christopher Nolan. But you watch a movie of this low caliber, If I was Matt Damon and I watched this movie, I'd be like, "Holy jeez, this is fucking embarrassing." The Last Duel. I mean, actually, The Last Duel was actually not a bad movie. It was the same story told 3 times. That's why, great cast. But this is like, again, Zendaya and Travis Scott. Why were they in the movie? It makes no sense why they were there. There's no roles for them. Elliot Page, did she affect the movie? Yes. If you transpose Elliot Page and you had some big strong warrior, which Sinon was, he was the cousin. I believe he was the cousin of Achilles, right? You've got this big stupid horse in in the middle, like at the end of the ocean, that they've got to dig up and wheel back into Troy. Well, why didn't the Greeks just attack right there? Agamemnon, just send the full 50,000 troops in. I'd make it like Christopher Nolan makes some of the most stupidest scenes for spectacle, and they make no sense. From a cinematic theatrical basis, from a storyline basis, they make no sense. They're just made for spectacle. You're like, they're pulling this horse, right? So they're pulling this horse. And you're like, why aren't the Greeks just attacking right now? All of their soldiers are pulling this freaking horse that keeps and then they prop this horse up. And look, when they invade Troy, you literally think they had $100,000 left in the budget. So we got to film a invasion of Troy. So they put some trees up, and oh my God, guys, unbelievable how bad this movie is. So that's the act. So the acting was basically a part of a screenplay that is a B-level screenplay. This screenplay is a Razzie Award through and through. This is shite. Pure. There's no way this movie gets any Oscar nominations. No way. Lupita, did she make sense in the movie? No. I mean, there is a lot of African content in this movie for a Greek movie. It would be the same thing as like you're doing the Princess of Congo and you've got everyone close to her. There's 4 or 5 people close to the Princess of Congo. They're all Caucasian. Wait a sec. What the? It's not like Wakanda where you have an ethno state, right? You got a pure ethno state in there in Wakanda. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think there was an Asian Greek too. Wait a sec. There was an Asian Greek. There was an Asian Greek. Thank you very much. There was one Asian Greek to the Asians in Greece. 3,000 years ago, they were making Asian babies in Greece. I don't know. They didn't have a pact. Unbelievable. I was not going to do a live thing tonight. I wasn't. This movie was so bad. The Odyssey was so bad on so many levels. It's the most predictable ending you'll ever have. And the ending goes on and on and on and on. It doesn't stop. It's a drumbeat ending with the worst dialogue, the worst fight scenes. And you're like, what's the reasoning behind this? The reasoning behind the third act. Why you write a third act is because you get these payoffs, and the payoffs have got to be quick, right? You want to get people in their emotional boom, bang, and off you go. This is like a 15-minute speech by Anne Hathaway and Matt Damon, and you're like, do I go pee now? Like what? Like I mean, I could have did number 1, number 2, got popcorn, washed my car, and vacuumed it, and still been back, and Matt Damon would still been freaking talking at the end. Still would have been freaking talking. That's. You think I'm wrong? You think I'm being hyperbole? Go watch the stupid thing. Go waste your money. Go waste your money on the Odyssey. This is some of the worst movie making. So it's forced casting. What did Christopher Nolan do? He forced the casting. And he's known for this. Well, I've worked with this actor before. Well, we'll put him in again. I mean, basically you had Batman and Spider-Man facing off, right? Robert Pattinson was freaking terrible. Robert Pattinson, Batman, was absolutely terrible. He was so unconvincing as the antagonist. He had no threat. At no time did I think Robert Pattinson as the antagonist posed any threat during the movie. There were a couple of faces that Rob Pattinson made that will literally make you laugh. At the very, very end, at the very, very end, he actually turns because they gotta put the bow together. Look, it's predictable. There's no spoilers here. It's freaking predictable because they gotta put the bow together. There's only one person that can put the bow together. Let me guess. Xenon. No, it's not Xenon. And it's not Anne Hathaway either as Catwoman. So you had Catwoman, you had Batman, you had Spider-Man, you had John Leguizamo, can you please give John Leguizamo a Razzie Award, please? John Leguizamo, the winner of the Razzie Award. Thank you. Thank you very much. This is some of the worst movie making ever. I try and rack my brain to think, what was good about this movie? What was good about the Odyssey? Look, this movie, I'm telling you, this movie makes everyone think and argue back to the idea that maybe we should have a little bit of CGI. The practical effects were terrible. Guys, the practical effects were terrible. The Cyclops was half-baked. It was half-baked. The Cyclops was half-baked. Get some CGI in there, for God's sakes. I mean, we are so far advanced with computers. You got a $250 million, $300 million budget, and you're trying to create this thing, and you're haphazardly putting this Cyclops together, running down a hill. The thing looks stupid. You've got $300 million to work with. This is what I'm watching for $300 million? At least Doomsday, which I think is going to be a freaking disaster. It'll probably have some crap ass CGI, but holy geez, this is probably the end of practical effects. This movie, The Odyssey, is the end of practical effects. That's it. This is the effects in this movie. Now, some of the boat scenes were good. Actually, I like the boat scenes. That was probably where, some of the scenes, was there some good cinematography? There was some good stuff. But at the end, guys, I'm telling you, the third act is filmed so terribly. It's a B-movie ending. It's a B-movie ending. You will laugh at some of the faces these actors give. You will fucking laugh. I'm telling you, you will fucking laugh.
Hey, baby.
I wasn't going to do a live after this, but I could not help myself. This is how bad this movie was. Forced casting that didn't have to happen. The actors were dealing with an absolutely abhorrent script. The fact that they've got to go out on the promotional trail and talk about this movie like it's some sort of epic masterpiece. This is a Mickey Mouse laughable movie. This movie will not stand the test of time. Look, you can have the critics go out there and bullshit their way through. Oh, yeah, it's a great movie. It's great. No, it's not. This movie will crater in the second week. This movie, if it does more than 600 million, it needs $1 billion to break even. If this movie does more than 600 million, I will be shocked. I am expecting a $500 million to $550 million on this movie. This movie will crater on the second week. Again, Alan Ng, 4 out of 10. I did not believe you. When I watched the out of the theater review, I didn't believe him. But it is that bad. It literally is that bad. So, predictable ending, the drum beat ending, like literally at the end of the movie, you get a drum beat ending that is, it just goes on and on and on. You think, where's the ending? Where does this end? Does this end at some point in time? There's got to be an ending. But it doesn't. For a half hour, this movie, it keeps going. And you think, okay, here's the ending. It's going to end here. It's going to end here. Like, oh my God, it doesn't. And it doesn't end. It keeps going and going and going. It's an utter and complete disaster on so many levels. So if you're asking me, so if the question comes, I've already stated, my number on this movie is 4 out of 10. Alan Ng of Film Threat. I thought he was trying to be. Mr. Hyperbole. I thought he was trying to be the guy that. No. This is one of the worst movies you will ever watch. This is the worst Christopher Nolan movie you will ever watch. It is. It's the worst Christopher Nolan movie you'll ever watch. I'm probably going to do, I'm going to do another review, a full-on review tomorrow. And then on Saturday, I'm going to keep going, make more comments on this, on the, on POPRAGEOUS Saturday Night Live, POPRAGEOUS Live, it's Saturday night. So I'm starting up the lives back on POPRAGEOUS here. So please join me. I don't know what else to say. If you're thinking about seeing this movie, don't, I'm telling you, don't, you will be disappointed. If you know anybody that has gone to see this movie, this is a disaster. Dialogue is a disaster. The casting is a disaster. The acting is a disaster. It is scenes that are put together in such a clumsy way. When you work it with the dialogue, and you got these scenes that go, it's like a joke. These scenes that go on and on in the and the dialogue that never stops. Can you just get to the point? What are you trying to say? This is the most pretentious Christopher Nolan movie you could ever watch. It's the most pretentious Christopher Nolan movie you could ever watch. It is his worst movie. I think it's going to be his downfall. The Odyssey is Christopher Nolan's downfall. After this, which I think this movie is going to lose a ton of money. It's going to lose a ton of money. After this, when the box office is all said and done, like I say, 500 to 550, I think it craters in the second or third week. And again, why is Zendaya in it? Why is Travis Scott in it? John Leguizamo was so bad. Maybe you should have picked a Greek, right? Maybe you should have hired a few Greeks for this movie. Just saying. But anyway, you know what? I might pop on tomorrow and put my thoughts together on a recorded review, and get my again, from screenwriting. This is literally his worst screenplay he's ever written. It's a terrible screenplay. It's a terrible movie. If you go see this movie and you spend the money to see this movie, you will hate yourself. I was thinking, is there any way, can I get a refund? This is so bad. But I think this is the end of Christopher Nolan. And I've maintained that Christopher Nolan is more spectacle than substance. He is one of the worst screenwriters. His screenplays are terrible. But, that is a Razzie Awards. I'm telling you, man, this movie deserves some Razzie Awards. It really does. For worst acting, worst screenplay, worst cinematography, worst, in every category, worst supporting actor, actress, Elliot Page. Which one is that? Actress? I don't know which one it is. But that's the way it is, guys. I will be back on Saturday night on POPRAGEOUS Live. It's Saturday night. And I will be working on a review, and POPRAGEOUS is back. I am going to be doing weekly shows again. So please, if you're thinking about going to watch this movie, don't. This is a solid 4 out of 10. A solid 4 out of 10. This is Razzie Award level quality. The acting, the screenplay. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Without, you can't get into details because when you have such a bad movie, it's forgettable. Bad movies are forgettable. I'm not sure what's overly memorable about anything about this movie. This is guys, this is on every level. This is the downfall of Christopher Nolan. It's a 4 out of 10, and the most this movie is going to make is $500 to $550 million. I mean, there's so many things that you could. The scene transitions. You're like, at the end, some guys pounding through the floor to try and get through because they hid the weapons and everyone's running for weapons. It's like 50 versus one guy, Odysseus, at the end with this nonstop drum beat. And you're like, what the fuck am I watching? What am I watching? If you think it's hyperbole, go watch the movie yourself, guys. Go watch the movie yourself. You will wish you never spent the money. The Odyssey is garbage. This is the worst Christopher Nolan movie. And I'm being nice. I think I am being pretty nice. I am. I will be back on Saturday night, guys, with POPRAGEOUS Live. It's Saturday night. I'm going to be working on a video for this review. And boy, I'll tell you, this unbelievable. Like I said, I went into this movie with very low expectations. Very low. And you know when you go into a movie and your expectations are so low, you come out, you go, wow, okay, you know what? That was better than I thought. It really was. It was better than I thought. It was worse than I thought. My expectations were so low. It was worse than I thought. And if you don't believe me, go watch it. Guys, my name is Danny Alex. This is POPRAGEOUS and Dimension Zero. I will see you on Saturday.